So, Friday, you should be happy, yeah? Yeah?
A lot.
A lot. You've got to study, no?
Yeah.
Everybody's going to study this weekend except me. No? I don't know. Come on, let's so, listen and write, Noelia. Okay? Number 1. P-U-B-L-I-S-H-E-D. P-U-B-L... Again? Pronunciation. Published. Published. P-U-B-L-I-S-H-E-D. Published. Yeah? Number 2. G-E-O-L-O-G-I-S-T. G-E-O-L-O-G-I-S-T.
Geologist.
Again?
Geologist.
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 Geologist. G-E-O-L-O-G-I-S-T. Somebody who studies rocks. Number 3. Good morning. C-O-N-V-E-N-T-I-O-N.
Convention.
Again?
Convention.
Convention. C-O-N-V-E-N-T-I-O-N. Convention. Yeah? Number 4. S-Y-L-L-A-B-L-E. S-Y-L-L-A-B-L-E.
Syllable.
Syllable. Good. Well done. S-Y-L-L-A-B-L-E. Syllable. 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 Okay, number 5. M-O-T-I-V-A-T-I-O-N. M-O-T-I-V-A-T-I-O-N.
Motivation.
Thank you, Louise. Motivation. M-O-T-I-V-A-T-I-O-N. Motivation. Number 5. Number 6. Easy. P-E-A-C-E-F-U-L.
Peaceful.
Peaceful.
Peaceful. Peaceful. P-E-A-C-E-F-U-L. Peaceful. Number 6. Okay, number 7. E-L-E-C-T-R-O-N-I-C. Again? Electronic. E-L-E-C-T-R-O-N-I-C. Electronic. Number 7. Okay, 8. R-E-P-L-I-C-A. 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 Replica. R-E-P-L-I-C-A. A replica. A copy. Yeah? Number 9. S-U-R-R-O-U-N-D.
Surround.
Surround, yes. S-U-R-R-O-U-N-D. Surround. Number 9. Number 10. P-R-E-D-I-C-A-M-E-N-T. P-R-E-D-I-C-A-M-E-N-T.
Predica.
Predica.
Predicament. Yeah, a problem, a difficult situation. P-R-E-D-I-C-A-M-E-N-T. Predicament. Yeah? A problem. Number 11. U-N-K-N-O-W-N.
Unknown.
Well done. U-N-K-N-O-W-N. Unknown. Something you don't know is unknown. Okay, what's next? Number 12. S-H-A-L-L-O-W. S-H-A-L-L-O-W. Yeah. S-H-A-L-L-O-W. What does this word mean? What's the opposite of shallow? Deep. So, a swimming pool has a deep end and it has a shallow end. Not deep. Just a little bit of water. Number 13, easy. R-E-M-I-N-D. R-E-M-I-N-D.
Remain.
Again?
Remind.
Remind. Remind. R-E-M-I-N-D. What's the difference between remind and remember?
You remember somebody reminds you something.
Yeah. Somebody reminds you, a thing reminds you. To remind, to make remember, to stimulate your memory. Yeah? But remember is what you do after. Okay. 14. I-double-L-U-M-I-N-A-T-E-D. I-double-L-U-M-I-N-A-T-E-D. Illuminated. I-double-L-U-M-I-N-A-T-E-D. Illuminated. Yeah? Illuminated with illumination. Okay. 15. T-H-O-U-G-H-T. Again?
Thought.
Pronunciation.
Thought. Thought.
Thought. Thought. T-H-O-U-G-H-T. Think. Thought. Again, then.
Thought.
Thought. Louise.
Thought.
Better.
Thought.
Yes.
Thought.
Thought. Thought.
Thought.
Thought.
So.
Yes. Good. Okay, lovely. 16. M-A-L-A-R-I-A. 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 In English?
Malaria.
Malaria. Malaria. M-A-L-A-R-I-A. Malaria. Yeah? A disease. Okay, 17. Easy again. A-B-S-E-N-T. A-B-S-E-N-T.
Absent.
Absent, thank you. A-B-S-E-N-T. Absent, not here. 18. C-O-S-T-U-M-E. Again?
Costume.
Thank you. C-O-S-T-U-M-E. I think you're awake now. Good. Number 19. C-O-N-S-E-Q-U-E-N-C-E.
Consequence.
Well done, Isabel. Consequence. C-O-N-S-E-Q consequence. And number 20, definitely. Toledo.
Toledo.
Well done, Isabel. Okay, so there are the answers. It's just for the tape. Thanks very much. So let's change. Story time, no? Yeah, I've got loads. Yeah, okay. So the swallow and the flax. Mm-hmm. The swallow and the flax. So what's a swallow? It's a bird that flies very fast. No, it's a little one that lives in the houses. It's gone now. It'll come back in a second. The flax, this is a plant to make rope, to make string. Okay? Golondrina, thank you, sorry. If I move on, then it comes back. Okay? So, this is a plant. The swallow and the flax. Some birds who had flocked together saw a man sowing flaxseed, but they thought nothing of it. The swallow, however, understood what this meant. She called an assembly of the birds and explained that this was an altogether dangerous situation. But the other birds just laughed at her. When the flaxseed sprouted, the swallow warned the other birds again. This is something dangerous. Let us go and pull it up. If it is allowed to grow, people will make it into nets. And we will not be able to escape from the traps they make. The birds mocked the swallow and scorned her advice. So the swallow went to the people and began to make her nest only under the roofs of their houses. Meanwhile, the other birds refused to listen to the swallow's warning, and so now they are constantly being trapped in nets and snares. Yeah, quite a lot of people are looking at it. That's cool. So let's have some words.
Snares.
You're fishing again.
Snares.
Net.
Thank you.
Money.
Yeah.
Warning.
Warning, yes.
Trap.
Trap, definitely.
Refuse.
Yep.
Advice.
And mocked or something like that.
What is to mock?
I don't know.
At. To laugh at. Well done. M-O-C-K. To mock. No preposition. That's good vocabulary.
Assembly.
Yes. Yeah.
Together.
Yeah. Escape. Together.
Put it up.
Put up.
Advice.
Again?
Advice.
Yeah. No. But advice. I've got advise. He said advice. This is the verb. This is the noun. Me again, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, this is the easier one, though, because I'm not going to read. The swallow and the flax. The swallow saw a man sowing flax seed, and he knew it was dangerous. So he went to tell the other birds. He called an assembly, and he told them it was necessary to destroy the flax. But the birds didn't listen to him. They ignored his warning. Time went on, and the flax started to sprout. Again the swallow tried to warn the other birds, saying that men would make nets and traps and snares from the flax. But again, the birds mocked him and laughed at him. So, finally, the swallow went to live in the roofs of the men's houses. But the other birds continued where they were. And for this reason, today, they are always caught by man in nets, traps, and snares. And that's it.
What is trap?
Something to catch a bird, a trap.
Oh, a net.
Yeah, sorry?
Net.
Internet? There's a question I have going around. Name something you can catch in a net. A fish, a butterfly, yeah? Or even a bird. You want to try, Luis?
Okay.
Okay, brave man.
The swallow and the flag.
Flax.
Flags. One day, a swallow saw a man in a flax site put
Field.
put some fields and traps
Okay.
in the flax site. And so the situation and went to the other birds, called an assembly, and said that the men put some traps in the field,
Okay.
and the other birds began to laugh and mock the swallow.
Good.
After days, the swallow saw the same situation and went to the assembly and said the same. But the other birds ignored the swallow. After,
Yeah.
the swallow went to live to the top of the house of the man, and after the birds captured in the net with the traps and finished.
Okay, let's see. Let's try this one to start with. No, that's pretty good. There's a little problem at the beginning and in the middle, but okay, let's see. The birds captured
No.
for the net. Well, that'll do. That bit'll do. That bit'll do. It's got all the problems.
Birds.
The net was captured.
The birds were.
Where is
The birds were captured
By.
by the net. Yeah? Yeah. It's a passive because the birds don't capture. The net captures. And the other one you said is after days.
After days is in the future.
It's a long
long
time.
long
No.
time. No.
After a few days.
After a few days.
Okay, good. Well done.
And a few days later?
A few days later. A few days later. Yeah? Okay. Me again. Because there's still definitely a little bit here. Okay. The swallow and the flax. A swallow saw a man sowing flax seed. Seed. A seed. What's a seed? Thank you.
Semillas.
Thank you. Thank you. This is part of your problem, Louise. Okay? Yeah. This is the bit you've missed.
Putting seeds in what?
Okay. So, to sow.
Yeah.
Okay? To put seeds in the ground, to sow. Okay? Yeah? now you can see all the direction. Okay. A swallow saw a man sowing flaxseed in a field. The swallow knew the flaxseed was dangerous. So he called an assembly of the birds and advised them to kill the flaxseed, to eat all of the seeds. And like that, they wouldn't have a problem. But the birds did not heed the swallow. They ignored him completely. Time went by. After a few days, the flax sprouted. Yeah? Have you ever eaten bean sprouts?
It's okay.
The flax sprouted, and again the swallow called an assembly of the birds and said, "This flax is dangerous. We must destroy it, because the men will take the flax, and with the flax they will make ropes, and with the ropes they will make nets to catch us." Again, the birds mocked the swallow and laughed at the swallow. So the swallow went to live under the roofs of men's houses. But the other birds continued in the fields, and they were caught in the nets and traps and snares of men. Yeah, we're looking better. Belen's ready, definitely. So
The
concentrate, because I think you can do this without any mistake.
Okay. The swallow saw a man who is sowing seeds on the ground, in the ground. And the swallow thought it will dangerous, and advice to other birds, but the birds ignore them, and after that the swallow saw the seeds explode. Sprout.
Bean sprouts, brotes de soja.
The swallow saw the seed sprout, and they advised to other birds again, and the birds mocked them.
Good.
And the swallows lived under the roof of the the men's house.
Okay. The swallows lived under the roofs of men's houses. The roofs of men's houses.
Okay. And then the man, the bears were captured by the net.
Good, well done. Okay, so, first one. It will dangerous.
Would
No.
will be.
B, you need a verb. It will be dangerous. Okay. Advise.
To.
No. Advise.
Him or her.
Again?
Him or her.
No preposition. Yes. Advise to, no. Advise at, no. Just advise him, advise her. Okay? Good. Well done. And that's it. Virginia, come.
Swallow saw a man who sowing flax seeds in a field.
Good.
And he knew it was dangerous, flax. So he called an assembly.
To call an assembly. I love it.
Uh,
I love it. Not good, excellent.
Called an assembly with the rest of the birds, saying that they must destroy the flax. But the birds laughed of him, and days later the flax sprouted, and the swallow decided to call again an assembly, saying the same thing, but the birds mock him again. So the swallow advised, saying that the men will make nets and traps and snares with the rope with the flags, but the birds ignored. So the swallow decided to live under the roof of men's houses.
Yeah, under the roofs of men's houses. I think I'm going to teach you a new word in a second.
And the birds were captured by the net.
Beautiful. So, let me try a new word. Okay, you have a roof. Eve. Or the eaves. And this is where the swallow makes his nest. So, in the eaves of the roofs of men's houses, Eve. Only 1 point, Virginia. Laugh of. At. Laugh at. Good. To mock. Noelia, what you can.
I don't know.
So, no words at all?
Yeah, this class is very difficult for me.
So, what have you understood? Tell me a little. Okay, we'll come back to you then. We'll have to do it the hard way. Okay. Isabel.
A swallow saw a man who was sowing flax seeds. The swallow know that this was very dangerous and went to the other birds and called an assembly to tell them
Good.
what he was seeing.
Okay.
The swallow say that they were in dangerous
In danger.
danger because if the flags grow up, the men will capture with the nets.
Okay.
But the other birds ignore his warning and laugh and mock mock him.
Yeah. Laugh
At
and mock
him.
him. You could say laugh at. The at is optional word.
Okay. After a few days, the flags sprouted, and the swallow again went to the other birds and called again an assembly.
Okay. And called. What's your verbs?
Again an assembly. They continues with his advice, but the other birds refuse his warning.
Good.
So the swallow decided to leave,
Decided to go to live.
Under the eaves of the roofs of men's houses. But the other birds didn't the same thing.
Okay, didn't do.
Didn't do the same thing.
Yeah.
Finally, the men capture the birds with the nets.
Okay, and with that, well done. Yeah. Okay, no. You said the swallow no. The swallow knows. Just watch your verbs, okay? Watch your
Okay, a swallow
swallow.
saw a man sowing seeds in the field.
Good.
Okay, and when he saw him, he thought he was very dangerous, and he advised other birds.
He advised the other birds.
The other birds, but the other birds ignore him.
Okay, ignore him.
But then suddenly the flags sprouted.
Yes.
Sprouted, and again the swallow advised them to be careful, it's dangerous. Okay, and again the birds begin to mock him.
Yes.
And love him.
Laugh.
Him.
Laugh.
At him.
Laugh.
Okay, and a few days after, the birds to live to the eaves of the roofs of the man's house, and there the bird was captured by the net.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
finish.
Fine. That's fine. Got no comments either. Lovely. Oscar.
A swallow, so a man sowing flaxseed on the ground.
Okay.
The swallow notices
Swallow
knows this is where dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
So the swallow goes to tell the another birds about
Goes to tell the other birds.
the other birds about the danger.
Good.
But the other birds ignore the advice.
Mm-hmm.
And a few days later, the swallow saw the man hitting rocks from the flags and making nets,
Okay.
and
Goes.
goes to give another advice to the birds. But now the birds mock him,
Good.
laugh,
Laugh.
and mock him.
Good.
Then and now the swallow decided to live on the roof of the men's houses,
Mm-hmm.
but the
Of the men's
of
house.
the men's houses, but the another
But
birds,
the other birds.
but the other birds stay on the same ground, and they work to it.
Yes. Beautiful. Okay, let's see. An advice. An advice.
A piece of advice.
A piece of advice.
A piece of advice.
Advice in English is not countable. In Spanish, yes, but in English, no. Okay? And also you said one dangerous. One danger.
When then
Dangerous adjective. Okay? Danger noun. Okay?
And how do you say of the roofs of the eaves or of the roofs of the roofs? Because he say the roofs of the roofs.
Okay, the eaves of the roofs.
Roofs.
The eaves of the roofs of men's houses.
Okay.
Okay. Right, Noelia. No? So, Luis, the first
Right.
line. First line.
First line.
Yeah.
Okay. A swallow saw a man in the sowing flax fields. No,
Flax.
seed in the field.
It's the most complicated.
Yeah, I know.
Solo, as man,
And swallow,
solo,
saw. Saw, from to see. A swallow saw
a man,
a man
Sowing.
sowing, this one here, planting seed. Again.
so one seed,
So, a swallow
a solo, so a man, with
sowing
sowing, a seed,
seeds.
seeds.
Good. The next line is
The swallow knows that these seeds are dangerous.
The solo think
Yeah, thinks.
that it is dangerous.
Yeah, the swallow thinks it's dangerous. Lovely.
He advised the other birds because it was dangerous.
Okay.
Oh,
He advised the other birds.
Yes.
He advised the other birds.
Good. Okay, he advised the other birds.
He said to them, they must destroy the flash.
Thank you. Again.
He said to them, they must destroy the flags.
He said to them that he's
Okay, that they must
destroy it,
destroy the flags.
the flags.
He said to them, they must destroy the
The
flags.
flags.
Again,
He sold to
he said,
sell to
said,
them.
said.
Decir.
Yes. He said to them that he no,
That
they
they
must
must,
destroy it to flat
good,
flat
flags,
flat.
flags.
But the other birds ignored them.
Good.
But the other birds ignore them.
Good.
A few days later, the swallow saw the man getting robbed.
Getting,
Getting making robbed.
Again,
Making.
yeah.
A few days later, the swallow saw the man getting robbed.
Making rope.
Making robbed.
A few days later,
Right.
yeah,
A few days later, the
swallow, saw,
The man.
okay, yeah.
A few days later, the swallow saw the man making rope.
Making rope. Guaynas.
Yes,
rope.
yes. Right. And another day,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
the swallow so
Yeah, saw the
the
man.
man making the rope.
Good. Yeah.
The rope.
Yeah.
And the swallow advised the birds again.
Good.
And the birds
But the swallow
and the swallow
advised.
advised the birds again.
And the swallow advanced the birds again.
Good.
He went to live,
Ah.
and the other birds laugh and mock.
Loved, no.
No,
Laughed.
laughed
Yes.
and mock him.
Again.
The other birds laugh and mock him.
Okay.
The other birds love
Laughed.
and mock him.
Yeah. Him.
This one is not very easy.
I know.
The birds were going to leave.
Okay, the birds went. Yeah.
Right? The bird went to the eaves of the roofs of the manor.
the
The
men's
manor
house.
house.
Yeah, men's house.
Okay,
Again.
the birds went to live to the manor house.
The birds went to leave the man's house.
Good.
The birds were captured by the net.
The birds
Were.
were captured
By the net.
by the net.
By the net. And that's it. Thank you all. Come, let's read it. I know. And two and one for me. So who's going to read this? Virginia.
Some birds who had flocked together saw a man sowing flaxseed, but they thought nothing of it. The swallow, however, understood what this meant. She called an assembly of the birds and explained that this was an altogether dangerous situation, but the other birds just laughed at her.
Good.
When the flaxseed
Sprouted.
the swallow warned the birds again. This is something dangerous. Let's go and pull it up. If it's allowed to roll, people will make it into nets and we will not be able to escape the traps that they devise. The birds mocked the swallow words and scorned her advice. So the swallow went to the people and began to make her nest only under the roofs of their house. Meanwhile, the other birds refused to heed the swallow's warnings. So now they are constantly being trapped in nets and snares.
Well done. Okay. Some birds who had flocked together, collected together to make a group, flocked together to collect, to unite, saw a man sowing flaxseed. Okay? But they thought nothing of it. They thought it was not important. The swallow, however, understood what this meant, understood the significance. She called an assembly, notice to call an assembly, to call a meeting, to make it happen. Yeah? Okay? It's a good verb. Well done. Okay, so she called an assembly of the birds and explained that this was an altogether, totally, completely, all together, a dangerous situation. But the other birds just laughed at her. Okay? When the flaxseed sprouted, the swallow warning danger, the birds again. This is something dangerous. Let's go and pull it up. Pull up. A plant, you pull up a plant. If it is allowed to grow, if it's permitted to grow, people will make it into nets, and we will not be able to escape the traps that they devise, that they imagine, make, create, design. The birds mocked the swallow's words and scorned her advice. Scorn? To ignore with a bad attitude. To scorn. Okay. The birds mocked the swallow's words and scorned her advice. So the swallow went to the people and began to make her nest only under the roofs of their houses. Okay? Under the eaves of the roofs of their houses. Meanwhile, the other birds refused to heed the swallow's warning. Heed?
Advice.
Yes, okay, to listen to advice. The opposite of ignore is heed. Yeah? You heed advice. It's a regular verb. Okay? So, heed my words. Listen to me. Yeah? No, don't heed my words at all. Okay. Meanwhile, the other birds refused to listen to the swallow's warnings. And now they are constantly being trapped in nets and snares. Traps. Yeah?
Nest Es nido.
With an S, yes, nest. Nest is your thing. I think actually a snare is something like this. That's a snare. But okay. Any questions? No, we're done here.
Cultural is not with two L's.
The
Cultural with double L.
no one.
Yes.
But I'm not. I'm actually not sure. I think it should be two words. I think it should be all together, but two words.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, here we go. Find the direction to just a few. Yeah, crazy. Yeah, my suitcase. Okay, let's try something different. Name an animal with horns. Horns. Name an animal with horns. Name an animal with horns.
A cow.
A cow. Yes, cow. What does a knight wear? What does a knight wear? Be very careful with the word knight. What does a knight wear? What is a knight?
A helm?
A helm, yes. Would you like to spell knight for me? K-N-I-G-H-T. A knight wears armour and a helm. I would normally say a helmet, but the word... No. The word helm for a soldier is okay, particularly a knight, so it's okay. Yeah? A knight wears armour. Armour, okay. Who named you?
Who named you?
Yeah, who named you?
¿Quién me
Who named you?
¿Who es quién o cuál?
Who named you?
¿Quién?
Who named you?
¿Quién me llama? ¿Quién?
It's complicated.
Yeah.
Por ahí hemos pasado.
So, who named you? So,
I don't know.
yes you do. Who named you, Oscar?
My parents.
Well, yeah. Your parents named you. Yeah? You couldn't please. Okay. Yeah. Name a superstition. Name a superstition.
Good luck when you touch.
Yeah, for example, sounds fun to me. Good luck when you touch wood. What is measured in decibels?
Excuse me?
What is measured in decibels?
Measure?
Yeah, measured. What is measured in
The
decibels?
sound.
Sound, absolutely. We measure sound in decibels to measure. Okay. Yeah, let's try something like this. What are the last three letters of the alphabet?
X, Y, and Z.
Well done. Oh, yeah. How would you join two pieces of paper together?
How?
Yeah, what would you do? There are lots of ways.
Yeah, I take the two pieces of paper and I juntar, join.
Yeah. And then they fall apart again. Right? You need to join them.
with crabs.
with
Staples.
staples, staples,
With cello.
with sellotape, staples.
E.
Yeah, this is an E. Staples, grappa, with staples. Okay, with staples, with sellotape, with glue, with jam.
Jam.
Yeah,
AP.
yeah. S-T-A-P. Staple. Stapler. S-T-A-P-L-E-R is the stapler. Yeah, the stapler has staples in it. Okay. Enough. Break.
And cello? How do you say cello?
Sellotape. But notice, this is a brand name. Yeah, but in English they say sellotape. Okay. Yeah, we finished, haven't we? That's even funnier. And it's still going.